We have found that many people, when they enter retirement, are so exhausted that they really just need to do nothing for a while. It's almost like they're a bear and they want to go hibernate.
The question really is, how long will you hibernate? Transitioning from a structured work life to the freedom of retirement requires not only change in routine, but a transformation in how we nurture our bodies, our minds, and our spirits.
You know, the real issue is not the need for downtime or rest, but instead what we need is a new level of energy that's going to take to get us up and running so we don't waste away all of this time and miss out on these golden years.
Today we want to give you habits that will energize you and those around you so that you can live this stage of life full of energy, excitement, and joy.
Remember, your retirement is as energetic as you make it. These habits we're going to talk about today are the key to unlocking a fulfilling and active lifestyle. Now, if you're new here, I'm Mark, and this is my wife, Jody.
And we don't focus on the financial aspects of retirement, but rather lifestyle, health, relationships, and more.
So we hope you liked this video, and if you did, do us a huge favor and share it with someone that you care about that's on the same journey that you are too. Now, I don't know who, Sandra. We were thinking this morning of Sandra, who lives in Connecticut. She's married. Her husband's a realtor. They're in their 80s. Did I get that right?
You got that right.
She watches that. They're in their 80s. They are two of the most active people that we know in retirement. She gets early up every day. She gets up early every day. She exercises a little bit, goes for a walk, comes back, has breakfast, goes to work probably 4 days a week.
I think 4 or 5.
In a retail store.
Yep, she does some retail work for another friend of ours.
Yeah, and he's an active realtor that, again, a realty job, you can make it whatever you want, but they're both still really active, and they have a family.
Well, they're also active with their grandchildren. They're avid bikers.
That's right.
They drive through town with bikes on the back, heading out to a trail somewhere in West Hartford all the time. So they're avid bikers. They both power walk. They have a dog, so they're always out walking because they have, I can't remember the dog's name. But anyway, the real point is they make the time, energy, and effort that they need to keep their energy up.
What they don't do is they don't get up in the morning and lay around and scroll through their phone and watch the news cycle 3 or 4 times. They get up and they move.
Yeah.
First thing in the morning, they get up, they move, they have coffee together, and they're running. And you can see them. You cannot believe how old they are, and you cannot believe how active they are, but they're happy, energized. And that's what we want for you and for us and for everyone else watching this video. It's really important.
I know when my girls come into town, they can't wait to go up to the shop and see Sandra because she's so stylish.
Yeah, she is.
I mean, she's just crisp and stylish and fun and energized. Yeah. And, you know, the more energy you have, the more energy you give to others.
And the people around you.
Yeah.
We see all the time on YouTube, we get comments where I'm very active, my husband isn't, or vice versa.
Right.
You really need to do this together. And if you're watching this alone and the other partner is not really active or whatever, a lot of these videos like this one, you should really think about watching with your partner. Make it kind of fun.
Absolutely.
By the way, before we go ahead, there's a link below for our health and wellness checklist. It's a 3-page free PDF that's really great to give you a good jump start on your health and wellness. And we also want you to stay to the end because we're going through a lot of habits today. But at the end, Jody and I are going to share our 5 most important habits that really bring us the most amount of energy. And when we think about energy, like right now, I will tell you, we're filming this at the end of 10 days or 2 weeks of having significant chest and colds.
Yeah, bronchitis, actually. Yeah. I think we both have had. But it's been a week, for sure. One thing I would say about these habits that we're going to go through, and certainly the ones that we bring to you at the end, is they all take effort. So we're not here to tell you that they're all super easy, but we will give you, under each habit, a couple of quick ways to get started. And I think that's always helpful for people when it seems a little overwhelming.
Right. So the first one we want to talk about, and we talk about this every time, and just do us a favor. Make believe this is the first time you're hearing this. But one of the most important things you can do to energize yourself is have regular physical exercise. it is critical as we age to energize your body, and that's what exercise does. It improves your health, and it overall enhances your mental well-being.
And the benefits really come with increased stamina, reducing your health risk in many categories, and really boosting your mood with those internal endorphins that come up, right? I mean, we all have them. We just have to exercise to get them. And the consequence, if you don't do it, is risk of health declining and some reduced mobility. And we see that in the elderly population.
There was I should have printed this out, but there was a comment on our YouTube channel just either yesterday or the day before where a woman posted she and her husband just retired. Her husband had a really difficult career, really worked hard, manual labor, and he's really beat up. And he's decided that, you know what, he's just going to coast through the rest of his life. And when it's time for him to go, he's going to go. He's not going to exercise. He's not going to eat right. He's not going to cut down on his drinking. That's a choice we all have to make.
Right.
But, that is not a good choice. I believe we owe this not only to ourselves and our partner, but to our kids. And if you don't have kids, then to your friends. But set an example for others so that you're not just decaying at the end of your life. So where do you start with physical fitness? A lot of people just struggle. They think of joining a gym and it just becomes overwhelming. Just walk. Just light exercises like walking. Just get up in the morning, and even before you have your coffee, go out the front door, make a left or a right, and walk for 10 minutes, and then come back.
Right. Light exercises like walking or even, light vinyasa yoga, something where you can gradually begin to increase your intensity and your duration. You can really measure it and really set a schedule around it. But starting light is always easiest.
Starting light, increasing your intensity, and then set a regular exercise schedule. If you decide tomorrow morning you're going to get up and walk, that's great. But then do it again like 4 or 5 days in a row.
Yeah.
You'll start to feel and see a change in your body. Just don't give up. It's really, really critical to do this.
And studies would say, and I remember we did research on this, if you do something for, is it 60 days? After 60 days, on the 61st day, it's harder not to do it than it is to do it.
So there was a study done at London University,
right,
where they tried to figure out what is the average number of days it takes for someone to start a new activity and make it a normal habit.
Right.
Some people could do it in 3 days. Some people it took a year. But the average number of days it took for someone to start a new activity and do it every day was 66 days. So at the end of 66 days, on average, it's now harder, like you said, it's harder not to do it than it is to do it.
Yep.
So if you could think about that, for 2 months, you need to do something for 2 months. It might be quicker for you, it might be longer, but if you have that goal in your mind, I'm glad you brought that up, that really might help a lot.
Absolutely. Okay, the second big bucket that we have is a balanced diet. As we age, proper nutrition that fuels your body and mind is critical. It's essential for your energy. I know I feel better when I'm eating better, and I do decline and grab the pizza every now and then and, perhaps a beer, but not in dry January. But it's essential for your energy, your health, and your disease prevention, for sure. The benefits of eating healthy, improve your overall well-being and support your bodily functions. Now is the time to really get to know and listen to your body as you age.
During my career, my 38-year career, I ate like crap. I didn't eat breakfast, or I might stop at the deli and get a bacon, egg, and cheese. Well, no cheese, I don't eat cheese. But bacon and egg on a roll. I made myself 4 days a week. I was out on the road selling insurance, 4 or 5 appointments a day. So I would have fast food, I'd have snacks. I finally got back to the office at 3, and I was exhausted. I felt awful.
You also drank a lot of coffee.
I drank a lot of coffee during the day. But 4:30 or 5, I'd head home, and the first thing I'd do was have a drink because I needed to relax. And I did that for 35 years, and I beat the crap out of my body. For me, my balanced diet was Kentucky Fried Chicken, McDonald's, I don't know, Chinese food, old-style Chinese food. I really was doing myself a disservice. And now, like you said, when we have our big meal of lunch, our big meals at lunch, The rest of the year, and it's not even a big meal, but it's bigger than normal. And then we have a light dinner, and we're eating different kinds of foods. I don't think I've been to a McDonald's in years.
Yeah, you might catch one at an airport if we're running through and there's no place in an emergency. But you've really changed the way you eat, and it's important to change the way you eat and the way you fuel your body. Your whole relationship with food as you age really has to change.
100%.
It really has to be about fueling your body and thinking about healthy choices as opposed to eating on the fly, which we both did during our careers, for sure.
So our naturopath doctor has told us, and we've mentioned this before, that we need 7 cups of fruits and vegetables every day.
Actually, it's only 7 cups of vegetables.
Okay, 7
fruits
cups
are not included in that.
Okay, well, how many cups of fruits do we
Well,
need?
fruits are good, right? And a lot of fruits have fiber and things, but fruits also contain sugar.
Right.
So you wouldn't want to have 7 cups of fruit a day.
No, and my issue is sugar, and you really need to reduce the amount of processed foods you have and sugary foods. I love chocolate chip cookies, but
Yeah.
I can't eat them. They're too full of sugar. I love wine, but white wine and red wine are filled with sugar, so I've stopped drinking that because of that, because my cholesterol went up, my heart rate.
You're pre-diabetic.
I'm not now, but I was pre-diabetic because of so much sugar. So those 2 things alone, vegetables, less processed food, less sugary foods, really have an impact on your life.
Absolutely. And then I would say the last first step would be make sure you stay hydrated.
Oh, yeah.
One of the things that we've done research on is as people grow older, and I know I went through this even with my mom as she aged, she just didn't want to drink water anymore. She was like, I just don't like it. I'm like, how can you not like water? It doesn't taste like anything. But, staying hydrated is a big part of that healthy eating and balanced eating.
Especially when you're sick like we are. We're drinking so much water now. You need to just get all the bad out of your body, and you do that by having water.
Absolutely.
All right, another habit that's really, really critical, and it's hard, is right now I'm struggling with this, is getting adequate sleep. 7 to 8 hours of good, solid sleep a night. And it's crucial because your body needs time to recover, and it needs time to replenish its energy. Without good sleep, you start to fail with your cognitive function and your overall health. Your body will just deteriorate over time a lot quicker if you're not getting good sleep.
And let me be the first to tell you, it improves your mood or it makes you moody.
Yeah, how did you sleep last night?
I slept a lot better last night.
No, you didn't. Your numbers were worse.
No, they were good.
Oh, they
I
were?
was like an 80. The night before it was a 40.
Oh, yeah, yesterday was the bad day.
Yeah, yesterday I didn't sleep well at all, and I was really kind of down.
We have our Aura rings, and we check our sleep score every morning. And, if Jody has a 40 or I have a 40 or a 60, I know I need to bring everything I can from an energy point of view to the day for our relationship so that I'm not cranky and short.
Because lack of adequate sleep really does affect your mood, your cognitive function, your physical health, how you view the world, whether the dog is a pain in the neck or the dog is a lot of fun. I mean, just everything around you. If you don't get adequate sleep, you really have reduced mental clarity.
Excuse me.
That's that cold we have. And, you have a lot of health risks. And, with that comes, balance issues.
Right.
Like if you're really sleepy and you all of a sudden don't have great balance or you're feeling a little zoned out, you really need to make this a priority. This will actually improve your energy levels significantly.
And don't ignore it. If you're not sleeping well, listen, when I used to drink every night, I had terrible sleep. But I didn't blame it on drinking. I just said, I didn't sleep well. We really track our heart rate and a lot of that on our ring. And if I have a glass of wine at night, I'm going to have a really bad night. Now, I don't know what it is for you, if it's eating late or a heavy meal or eating a lot of meat, eating a lot of desserts, but you need to figure that out.
Right.
But what can you do to have better sleep? The first thing is, and this is hard for some people, is to have a regular sleep schedule. I've been really good at this since I retired.
You really have.
And it's created some problems.
Some anxiety for me, for sure.
But I go to bed every night no later than 9 o'clock. I prefer to be in bed. I have this routine.
If it's 8:01, Mark says it's almost 9.
Well, it is because I like
it isn't. But
I stop watching TV. I don't have anything to eat. I stop drinking water at 7:30. Sorry about the coughing.
Yeah.
And I shower, jammies, into bed, ready to fall asleep at 9 o'clock. And I typically fall asleep at 9 o'clock. Now, you have made the decision to get into bed the same time I do.
Right.
And you're not really ready to go to sleep.
I'm definitely not ready.
You'll read for a while.
But I read from 9 till maybe 10 or 10:30.
Yeah.
Because my body clock is a little bit different than Mark's. And it's taken us a while to establish that. I don't really want to stay up and watch TV. I don't really watch a lot of TV. So I grab my Kindle and I get into bed and, I'll read while Mark goes to sleep. But his body clock needs him to be asleep by 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. I get up early. I mean, I'm up at 4 o'clock every day. So if I go to bed at 11, I'm still getting up at 4. So, and I can do that if I have to, if we have company or we're going out. But the other thing to do about sleep is having a comfortable sleeping environment.
Right.
Bedroom needs to be dark, needs to be cold. We have a weighted blanket that we use that we struggled with it first, but now we love it. I mean, it's a glass beaded blanket. Who makes that?
I don't know. We could put the link below.
Yeah,
if you
I'll
can
have to
find
remember
it.
who that is. But we get into bed and it feels like you're being hugged all night long.
It took me a while because I'm a hot sleeper.
Right.
So it took me a while. I had to roll it off me for a while because I'm a late 50s woman, so I'm hot at night, right?
You're hot all the time.
Hot at night, definitely when I'm sleeping. So it's heavy, and I felt a little suffocated for a while, but we have gotten used to it.
Yeah, we have it on now all the time. And we had it on for 6 months, took it off for 6 months, put it back on for 2 months. But now it's been on for a year, which is great. The other thing to do before bed, avoid caffeine, avoid electronics, avoid TV, anything that's stimulating your brain. The phone is the worst. To get into bed and scroll through your phone, you're not going to fall asleep. Or if you do fall asleep, you're not going to have good sleep. So
sleep was a big third bucket there to help you find ways to energize. Get on a good sleep schedule.
Okay.
The fourth big bucket is stress management. Managing stress is key to enjoying a relaxed retirement. It's critical for your mental and your physical health, and it enhances your life satisfaction and helps you with mental clarity if you think about it.
And stress management. So, we try not to use the word that we're really stressed out, but you do get stressed out. We're about to film. We have Ruby running around here, biting on wires, our little puppy Ruby, making noise. She wants attention. She wants to play. The only choice we really have is to put her in her crate and have her go to sleep. Now, she loves her crate, and she loves to sleep. We'd rather have her out and about and around with us. But that's a stressful thing for Jody and I to make that decision to put her in a room while we're doing our job, right? And it creates anxiety between the two of us, but we talk about it and we just try to get through it. Because if you continue to carry around this stress, you're going to have anxiety, you're going to have depression, and again, your physical health is going to decline.
Yeah, absolutely. But there's some quick things that you can do. Practice relaxation techniques like meditation or deep breathing. I do a lot of deep breathing. Sometimes they're kind of, overly dramatic deep breaths to just try to tell Mark he's on my last nerve.
Or when you count backwards from 10.
I do count backwards from 10
Three
sometimes.
times in a row?
Not 3 times in a row, but finding a relaxing technique that works for you. I know we both use Headspace as a meditation app, and sometimes we'll just kind of peel off and do that just to kind of lower the heart rate, get the central nervous system kind of back in order.
I want to stick with meditation for a second because it's not its own habit, but I truly believe that everyone should learn how to meditate. 100% convinced it will change your life because it changed mine. I started 5 years ago, and the day before that, if you had asked me, would you ever meditate? I said no. But I had some real health problems, some anxiety problems. I had real issues. I had just sold my company. I was stressed out beyond even imagination. I started meditating, and I'll never stop. It just is it's like going to the gym for your brain. It's 10 minutes a day, but it really has helped me a lot. So getting rid of stress is helpful with meditation. Exercise helps a lot. Engaging in some hobbies and activities.
Some activities that
we're really
you enjoy.
enjoying golf. We're playing golf tomorrow. The day after. We're looking forward to that. And then sometimes you just want to get support from your friends or family or even professionals. I mean, if you are really struggling with stress and anxiety and you think you need help, you probably need help.
Right.
And you should get it.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a big bucket, stress management.
Social engagement. My
You're better at this than I am.
my my father-in-law used to call it. You hate when I say this.
I do.
Should I not say it?
I think it's kind of ridiculous.
Social intercourse. He was a big fan of going out to dinner.
Doesn't even make sense to me.
But that's what he said. He was English. Maybe that's why. He was a big fan of having groups of people around a table, having conversation and having a meal. That was so important to him. And he would come to life.
It's so funny to me that you like that, because as soon as you're done dinner, you pick your plate up and you move on.
That's because I'm an introvert.
What are you talking about?
I'm an introvert. And for me to be in that atmosphere, which does give me energy and it does make me feel good, it takes a lot from me to be at a dinner party with 12 people around the table and to really engage with every person. It takes a lot of work. I'm not an extrovert where some people that's easy for them. It's hard for me. So when it's done,
it's funny because
I'm
I think
toast.
this category is more you than it is me. You need to schedule, or better said, you need me to schedule social engagements for us.
or I can schedule, but yeah, I like to be around people. Listen,
But that wouldn't say that you're an introvert.
no, that's just what you said to me when dinner's over. I'm kind of
Well,
done.
you just pick your plate up and move on. Like my family, when dinner was over, that's when the conversation really started.
No.
You like pick up and go.
So I don't stay for conversation.
You don't.
Oh, okay. Well, that's another conversation for another moment. But if you have good social engagement, it's going to reduce loneliness. It's going to increase your happiness. And it's going to provide you the kind of support that you might need.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't do that, you feel isolated, you get depressed. And again, this cognitive decline that happens as we age, we're trying to prevent that. Social engagement will prevent that.
You know,
So
when I lived in Houston, we used to do we had dinner club, and every month somebody else's house would become. They could set this theme. It could be potluck. They could make everything. They could order in whatever they decided.
Right.
But there were 8 couples, so 16 people, and we brought all our kids, and they would show up, and one person decided it was a luau. There are things you can do within your circle, which is really fun to say. We can say join clubs or groups or things like that, but you could also create something like that.
Why don't we do that?
Well, we do drinks in the driveway here in Florida.
We did that once, which was fun.
So that's
but I like this dinner party idea.
Oh, it's so fun. We had
Why
such
don't
a
you be
great
in
time
charge of
doing
that
it.
for us?
See what happens? Remember in the beginning I said, or you get me to schedule? Here we go.
You don't want to do it?
I don't know. I don't. In retirement, I had so much social connections during my 35 years. I kind of like the peacefulness of not having something scheduled every night of the week.
Well, I don't want it every night either, but maybe once a week we can have it.
Yeah, I mean, once a week is
Once
fine.
a month
but
we do a dinner party. What do we call it?
I don't know.
The monthly dinner party.
Oh, wow.
Hosted by
That's-
Jody.
That's creative.
I'll cook.
Okay.
All right.
Anyway,
social engagement is really, really important.
right. Okay. The next big bucket is mindfulness and meditation, which is a bucket in and of itself.
I didn't know that was specific.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Creating the mental space that you need will help you with clarity, enhancing your emotional well-being and really reducing your stress. I really, really like, and I go the easy way out on this with our Headspace app. I know there's Calm and there's a bunch of other apps that are out there now. But that one has really helped both of us, and most of our kids use it as well, to be honest.
Well, the other thing with this app, Headspace, and again, we'll put the link below, is that it's guided meditation. So when I first thought about meditation, I just thought I had to sit down, cross my legs, burn some incense, hold my hands, I think like this, and just try to keep my mind quiet. Well, my mind is so active, there's no way that was going to happen. Even with the guided meditation when I started, it was the hardest thing that I've ever learned how to do, is this meditation practice. But now with this Headspace and it's guided, they're talking to you. There's a lot of quiet points, but there's some teaching that goes on because they have 30-day series on anxiety, on, oh God, what are some of the other topics that are in there?
Well, relationships. Communication, anxiety,
eating,
depression,
wellness.
I know I've listened to most of them,
Yeah, I have too.
and then I re-listened to them because it really boosts my focus and it reduces anxiety, increases a little bit of self-awareness, and really this time of life, it's so important to be self-aware. I really believe now is the time that you can focus on being self-aware.
10 minutes a day.
Yeah.
That's it. I think the app is free for 10 days.
Could be.
And then you have to pay for it. And I don't know what it costs. $300 a year, $200 a year.
I don't know.
It's the best investment you could ever make for your life. I promise you. If you don't want to pay for it, go to YouTube and find some mindfulness practices. Just try it. It definitely will make a change.
So a couple quick steps though. If you dedicate a few minutes a day, use a guided meditation app for beginners because that will help you. And then really make sure you create a quiet and comfortable space. A place that you feel safe, that you're not going to get interrupted, and that you can really spend time focusing on yourself.
Okay, another habit to bring into your life, to bring you energy in retirement, is what we call lifelong learning. This is going to keep your mind active, it's going to keep it engaged. Again, it's really important for your cognitive health and your personal growth. We spend a lot of time reading lots of books around wellness, longevity, health, which sounds like relationships, but it keeps us active. It gets us excited. When we find a new book and we're reading it together, it gives us something to talk about besides this job or the kids. But again, with this whole idea of learning, and maybe learning a new hobbit. What's a hobbit?
I don't know.
It's a habit. Maybe learning a new hobby is helpful. But picking up, gosh, what are some of the things that we've learned how to, edit videos? We've learned.
Well, we do a lot on cooking.
We do. I love cooking.
Yeah, we do a lot of learning about cooking and putting different things together and macronutrients and micronutrients and learning what's best for digestive system. The past 2 weeks, what's been really good for us with a cold.
Yeah.
I think we spent the whole first week not eating at all, and that wasn't good. And you did some cooking and learning yesterday. So
yesterday I cooked lunch for 4 or 5 days, and tonight I'm cooking dinner for a couple days. And it's, like Jody said in the beginning, a lot of this takes energy.
It does.
It takes effort to get off of the couch, to get out of your phone, and to do something. So learning, if you want to sit on the couch, read a book, take an online course, watch a YouTube series. You watched that whole YouTube series on
How to Train a Puppy.
How to Train a Puppy.
It had been a lot of years since I trained a puppy.
And we both learned a lot. Yeah. We always thought, well, we'll be really good at this. But we're now doing that in a different way, and our puppy's turned out to be much better than we thought.
Yeah, she is.
So we want to make sure you guys stay to the end, because at the end, Jody and I are going to share our 5 most important habits that bring us energy. So what's the next one we want to talk about?
All right, so the next big bucket would be get your regular health checkups, right? It's essential for any early detection and prevention of all health issues. You need to know. You need to know where you are today, and you need to baseline that year over year to see how you're doing from a health perspective. It's key to maintaining good health and early problem identification. The thing about regular checkups that I love, and I always say this to our kids, it's information. Right? Yeah. Go get the good, the bad, and the ugly because it's information. You now have power to make the next step, right? Because a lot of people will say to us, I don't want to get checkups. I don't want to know what's going on. I say to myself, how can you not want to know what's happening? You need to know what's happening so you can make your first next best step.
I have a good friend. He's a guy. And his comment to your point is, why would you go look for trouble? And he seriously believes that. But that's not really smart, right? Mm-hmm. You want to not necessarily look for trouble. But if trouble exists, you want to deal with it. I mean, I have several medical issues that came to light because I'm really consistent with my doctor's appointments. Right. This handout that we gave this morning is 3 pages. It's the health and wellness checklist, and it lists all your doctors. Is it up to date? What's the next step to get it done? Then there's a page on bringing in good, healthy habits into your life.
Right.
And the third one is eliminating some bad habits. So along with healthy checkups is really, what are you doing to make your body feel right, eating, sleeping, all of that. It really is critical. So the first thing to do, again, download this document, but get all your checkups up to date with your doctor.
Right. Right.
It's ridiculous if you don't.
And keep a record of your medical history and your updates and all the meds that you're on. Mark and I talk about this a lot. You know, if something were to happen, like if something were to happen to Mark, is there any place where I have a document I can take with me in the ambulance to the hospital when they say, what meds are you on? What meds are you on, right? So, you have to keep that history up to date, not only for you, but for your spouse, partner, or the people who care about you.
The ninth habit to bring into your life, to bring energy into your life, is finding some hobbies and or creative pursuits. It's so easy to get caught up in a day where you just watch TV or you don't do anything, you walk around the house, maybe you do a couple of chores, you go food shopping. But if you've got a hobby or something creative, even if listen, when I grew up, I built houses. I didn't build houses, but my dad taught me to work with my hands. There really isn't much I can't do around the house. So taking on a project, making a list of all the things you need to do in the house, and one project a day to get something done, you're going to feel wonderful because it's checked off your list. Your house will be better. It just brings you joy and a sense of achievement.
I know we talk about our neighbor quite a bit, but she really has done a great job in the creative pursuits category. She signed up for drawing classes that morphed into clay classes, that morphed into oil painting classes. And, she's really spent the time both meditatively and creatively. And she'll go from like 9 till 4 on some days.
Yeah.
And she'll be at the art center just working on her creative pursuits. And it's been really inspiring to me to try to find something, because I'm not super crafty. I'm just not good like that. I never was really good like that. Knitting, I could try it.
Knitter. Click, 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 click,
Oh,
click.
yeah. Knit one, purl two.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means. So
Neither
I would
do I.
have to start with a YouTube. There's a YouTube video on knitting that has like 4 million subscribers.
Really?
Yep.
A channel?
Yep.
Wow.
4 million
Well,
subscribers.
listen, I said it half in jest, but maybe because listen, if you're knitting, I know that people that do that, it reduces stress.
Right.
If you get creative, you can do things, make things for other people. So
Yeah.
I think that's, it's not a bad idea. But the consequences of not having a hobby or creative pursuits, again, is just downtime and boredom.
Right. So you really want to explore hobbies that interest you, allocate time for hobbies like our neighbor does. I mean, she loves it. And join some community groups to have people in similar interests. The 10th big bucket that we have, and this one might sound a little funny. How is this going to give you energy? But it's financial management. Right? Now think about it for a second. If you have your finances all managed and ready to go, you're going to have some stress-free living in retirement, right? No financial worries. It's really crucial to be secure and comfortable in retirement. Gives you some peace of mind, stability, and the ability to really enjoy your retirement. So don't discount this habit of getting your finances in order, that it will give you energy.
And I think that this is a great topic, because the opposite of that, not having your finances in order, is chaos. You are in complete chaos with what you have, what's coming in, what's going out. You worry every day about your money. You worry every day about something bad that might happen that you can't afford. You worry every day about every payment that comes in. And I know some of you watching this maybe live pretty tight. But as long as you know what you have and you have a budget and you're living within that, you're going to be okay.
Right.
It's just, the important thing here, in order to have high energy in retirement, is to take away some of these stressors. So I think that...
And finances is always a stressor in
it
retirement.
is, for anybody.
You no longer have that solid income stream coming in unless with Social Security and maybe
pensions,
some other things,
but still. So the first thing you really want to do is review and organize your finances, and do it on a regular basis. If you don't have a financial advisor and you're just winging it on your own a little bit, you might want to consider getting one.
Or we can put the link below even to the new retirement
Oh, the dashboard.
The dashboard from New Retirement. And it's free for a short period of time, but it might give you some ideas to get started, and you can run some scenarios.
And the cost is $120.
Right.
So what it does is it takes all your investment accounts, all your bank accounts, you plug in your Social Security income and other things like that, and all of a sudden now you've got a dashboard of all your finances.
Right.
So that really does help. And I think you need to set a budget and stick to it.
Yeah, that seems like a wonky one to say, like, get your finances in order and that's going to give you energy, but it really will.
It does. It really does. It takes away a lot of stress. Now, another thing that you can do to bring energy into this phase of life is find some volunteer work.
I love this one.
I do too. And it's just, people think, well, where do I start? What do I do? Listen, there are skills and talents that we all have. There are skills and talents that people need. And if you can match up your skill, talent, and passion with an organization that could use that work, it's a home run.
Right.
Because you're doing good for others. Nonprofits live on volunteer work. They don't have the kind of budgets that for-profit companies do. So nonprofits have thousands and thousands of volunteers that donate thousands of hours of work.
Right. And it really helps you foster connections and new connections, deepen current connections, and it helps you with satisfaction just because you're helping others. It gives you a boost.
It gives you a boost. It gives you a reason to get up
Right.
in the morning and a reason to go somewhere to help.
Right.
So listen, there must be some causes that you care about, whether it's health issues or seniors or kids. Things like reading at the library once a week for an hour might sound silly, but you're actually helping these kids.
Right.
And if you can speak English and read a book and kind of be fun at it, you're really making these kids' lives better. I mean, that's the basic. And I think if you can get kids before the age of 8 to have better reading skills, I think their chance of succeeding in life goes up by a lot. I don't really have the research in front of me.
So really, the first step is find the cause. Second, commit to some regular volunteer hours, and then encourage your friends to join you as well, because that could also be fun. Okay, the next big bucket is positive thinking. Positive thinking, mind over matter. And I've been living with this terrible bronchitis and cold. Every morning I get up and say, nope, I feel better today. Positive thinking, mind over matter. It really shapes your life experience and your total outlook. It's essential for your mental health. Mark laughs at me because he doesn't think mind over matter is a thing, but it is a thing.
It's not true.
It is true.
I think it's a thing.
It's a thing.
It's a beautiful thing. The Power of Positive Thinking by, who wrote that? Norman Vincent Peale, maybe? I forget. But I do believe in that. And this morning, when I left to go to the drugstore to get us more cough medicine, we both were in bad shape. And we knew we needed to do video today. So I'll see you in a little while. Okay, I'll see you. When I came back, you had showered, you got your hair done, you got an outfit on, you're ready to go. And I said, how you doing? Great. We got video day today. Let's crush it. You flipped.
Yeah.
And it's mindset.
It
and
is
it's effort.
And it reduces the stress. I know what it feels like to feel down and feel tired, and for me, feel like you have bronchitis.
And germy
and just sick, and you just want to sit in a steam room and die. But it reduces my stress for me to just say to you, you know what? I know what we have to do today. I'm good. Let's go. Let's get it done. By 4 or 5 this afternoon, I might fall off a cliff.
Right.
I might go down a little bit hard and just want chicken soup for dinner, but that's okay too, because I'm going to stay positive. Pessimism can really lead to decreased life satisfaction. I'm a firm believer in that. So a couple things you can do. First, practice gratitude every day, which we both do.
We write down the 3 things we're grateful for today, and 3 things we're looking forward to today, and 1 self-affirmation, something about ourselves that we believe in is positive. That's a great way to start your day.
It is a great way to start your day. The second thing I would tell you to do, and I tell this to our kids all the time, challenge your negative thoughts. And I always say to my girls, when they tell me everything that's going wrong, and I'll say to them, let's flip the narrative. Tell me everything that could potentially go right. Because if you're going to tell me this side of the spectrum, you got to tell me the other side too. Get yourself your negative thoughts out with your positive alternatives, and then surround yourself with positive people.
Yeah, I think that thing about positive people is important, because if you have a circle of friends, most of which are, I don't want to use Debbie Downer.
Negative Nelly?
Negative Nelly? You don't like Debbie. Doug Downer. You like me to pick on men.
I don't.
Doug the Downer.
Why would you say that?
I don't know. But you don't like Debbie Downer.
I love men.
You do love men.
I do.
If you
But
are,
I love women more.
If your circle of friends are negative and always talking about what's wrong in their lives, you might want to think about hanging out with different people.
Definitely.
I mean, that's definitely going to make a difference. Which leads us into the next habit, which is having healthy relationships. It is absolutely without a doubt, you need good, solid, happy, healthy relationships for support, emotional well-being, and connection, because these people are the ones who are really going to hold you up when you're down,
right,
and give you a sense of belonging.
Right. It is critical to take an evaluation even of your relationships. I have a really good friend who is in a tumultuous relationship right now, and what's unhealthy for her isn't just that. It's that the people around her and the people around her spouse are also not healthy people. So she doesn't really have anywhere to go for healthy advice, for emotional support, for good guidance. That's when you might need a professional if it's a one-on-one relationship. What we're talking about in this category is finding people that provide you with love and support and a sense of belonging so that you don't feel isolated and lonely.
And they're good listeners.
Right.
And they don't, I just did a video this morning on Instagram about, are you really listening? I mean, I am as guilty as the next person when you're trying to tell me a story about something or the kids or whatever. Naturally, I go to, I can fix this. I know what I'm going to say. As soon as she stops talking, I can fix it. And that's the worst thing you can do.
Well, we experienced it last week when we were visiting one of our kids. And when his spouse would begin to speak and tell a story that she was super passionate about, he interrupted her every time.
He hijacked the story.
Hijacked the story like, I would say 9 out of 10 times. And she finally threw her hands up, and then we started calling him on it.
Right.
Because it wasn't even that he wasn't listening. He just wanted to hijack the story, which, really wasn't healthy for her.
Right. So they don't have an unhealthy relationship, but I brought up listening because I think it's just so important to be able to provide that as a gift of love to whoever it is you're in a relationship with. So think of all your relationships that you have. Are you really being the person that they need at that moment? And vice versa. Are they being the person that you need?
So what are some first steps?
Well, you can invest time and effort in existing relationships. We talked about that a little bit. I think it's really important at this phase of life, reach out to old friends. I mean, there's a lot of old friends that I've connected with that really I've reconnected with, which is great, and find time to make new ones.
Right. Communicate openly with all your regular loved ones, too.
Yeah.
The next big bucket we touched on earlier when we talked about balanced nutrition, and that's regular hydration. Hydration can really give you energy. It's essential for your physical health and your proper body functions. Energy levels and overall health improve when you are hydrated, and you need to drink more water than you think.
We, can you think of her name right now? Kirsten, that we had on our YouTube channel. It is all about hydration. Mm-hmm. Can you think of her name?
No.
Okay. Well, we're going to put a link below to her YouTube channel because she is all about hydration. She's all about first thing in the morning when you get up before you do anything else is drink 12 ounces of lemon water.
Right.
And it is just an amazing change that I've implemented into my life in the last 8 months or so, and it's made a huge difference because I used to get up and my first thing was 8 ounces of coffee.
That's true. Now you do water. That's great.
Kristen Caulfield.
That's it. Yeah,
Kristen
I think
Caulfield,
you got it.
just sort of. She's great. We have to have her back on because this whole topic of hydration, she is rededicated to that, and I love watching her on Instagram and YouTube. She really talks a lot about that because we start to dehydrate as we get older.
Absolutely.
You actually need more water as you age, and if you're not getting it, you're going to have major health issues and fatigue.
Yeah, so what can you do? Carry a bottle of water with you, drink it throughout the day, and measure what you're drinking. Also, replace any of your sugary drinks with water or maybe some herbal teas.
And I love her tip. The first thing you do in the morning is drink 12 ounces
Right.
of water that has half a lime juice in it.
Lime or lemon?
Lemon. Room temperature. So, all right. So what's another thing that you can do to bring energy into your life? And that's time management. You might think, well, time management, I'm in retirement. I don't need time management. I'm telling you that we are all about time management. We plan everything because if you don't plan it, it's not going to happen. If we don't plan shooting these videos, it's not going to happen. If we don't plan golf, it's not going to happen. If we don't plan going to bed at 9 o'clock,
which I don't love.
it's not going to happen. But it's really trying to balance leisure time
Right.
with some productive activities. I think that's really important to have a calendar, and we do. We have a calendar together that we schedule things.
Well, it never feels good to have wasted time and disorganization, right? So a lot of pushback that we get from clients or speaking engagements that we do, people will say like, oh, time management, I did it my whole career. I don't want to be on a schedule. Try it. Try not being on a schedule. See if it works for you. See if you can figure it out. It didn't work for us. So that's when we started really getting into habits and routines.
It's funny, I called Jordan this morning, our daughter, and said, when are you coming again? And you're bringing your boyfriend, right? Yes, they're coming on, I don't know.
March something.
I'm away at a business meeting. They come back Monday. They arrived the Saturday before that. So, and they're here for the whole week. And then we have our son's wedding in Tampa. But I said, are you working that week? No. Derek and I have taken the whole week off. Now, I either heard that from you or didn't really pay attention. But that means, in my mind, time management, we don't like to work when the kids are here. So now in my mind, I'm thinking, well, if we can't work, that whole week is blocked off for family. And we need to make sure that if we have to do videos or whatever, it's done before that.
Right.
So without really strong time management, it would just be a mess all the time.
So what are some things you can do?
Well, you can prioritize your day. So we prioritize our gym. I go at 5 a.m., you go at 6, you go at 7. We prioritize, leisure time. We prioritize work. We really try not to procrastinate and stay committed to our schedule. Otherwise, things fall through the cracks.
Absolutely.
Now, we've covered a lot. We want to make sure you stay to the end because we're going to share with you our 5 most important habits that bring us the most amount of energy.
All right, so the next habit that can really bring you a lot of energy, and I want you to really think about this one, is regular exposure to nature. So what does that mean? Well, it depends on where you live. For us, when we're here in Florida, it means beach walks and some hikes and getting out in playing golf and, being out in the environment. When we're in Connecticut, it could mean, hikes or walks or boating or kayaking, but something that puts you in connection with the environment will improve your well-being.
Yeah, you're out of the house or your apartment. You're out of shopping mode and you're in with nature.
Right.
I mean, there's down here in Florida, there's all these walks you can do through the mangroves. You can go to, places where they have alligators and all of that. But just being with nature, what do they call it in Japan? Cleansing. Something cleansing.
Not sure.
Mind cleansing. Japanese are really big with this, getting out into nature. So we think that is really an important thing to do. So what do? You schedule regular outdoor activities like walking or hiking.
Absolutely. Visit some local parks. Even if you live in a big city, take a blanket, go to the park, lay in the grass, just do something that puts you close to nature. You could even engage in some gardening.
You could.
Which puts you close to nature.
All right, the next thing that will bring energy into your life is embracing technology. That might be like, what? Well, if you're connected and informed with what's going on with, the hobbies we talked about, staying up to date with connecting in the world. The news is tough for us. We're really careful about that. But technology can be a great tool. That's how we meditate, we exercise, we have stretching on there. We connect with the kids, we do FaceTime. So you can communicate, you can learn, and you can access a lot of resources by embracing your phone and computer.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the fence with technology sometimes.
Okay.
I kind of ride the roller coaster of technology. I think it's important to do these basic things, right? Learn basic technology skills, use it to stay in touch with family, and explore some online learning resources. Mm-hmm. I think those are great avenues. Otherwise, I think this incessant scrolling that people do, and
I agree.
TikTok, and all of that just kind of seems to get a little out of hand for me.
I agree, but it is a tool that you can use to stay in touch, like you said, and learn from. So I think it's important.
Besides sleeping, your phone is always in your hands.
Besides sleeping, my phone is always in my hands.
Pretty much.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Cheers to that.
That's nice.
All right, the next big bucket is one that I really embrace and one that I try to get Mark to really embrace, and that is regular stretching and flexibility exercise. I can't tell you how much energy this gives me and how much progress I'm able to see. It's essential for maintaining mobility and preventing injuries. It's key to your physical and active lifestyle. This new boot camp gym that Mark and I have been going to, my only criticism of me, not of the gym, of me while I'm doing it is I don't feel that I'm getting the same stretching that I got when I did, 90 minutes of yoga.
Yeah, we just talked this morning about that during coffee, that we need to set aside time every day for 20 minutes. We need to find a good YouTube episode about stretching,
Right.
and we just need to do it.
Right.
We need to plan it, and we honestly could do it when you come back from the gym at 8:15.
Right.
We should just do it then.
We should.
Why don't we commit to doing that?
We should commit to doing that. I
Because
think
it's
that
so,
would be
so
good.
important.
Because it would, really help us with any mobility issues or tightness that we get from working out. But what can you do? Incorporate stretching into your daily routine. Attend a yoga class. I know I'm a big fan of that. Or even a Pilates class or a bar class. There's so many classes out there. And practice stretching that target major muscle groups.
That's
I think
a good
those are
idea.
some things you can get started with.
All right, another area where you can put some energy behind to get some energy out of it is exploring new cultures and experiences. We're huge on finding new experiences because it's going to broaden your perspective and it's going to enrich your life. So learning about new cultures, we have to learn, we want to learn, we're going to learn Spanish. We have a daughter-in-law who's from Puerto Rico who speaks fluent Spanish. Her family speaks Spanish. Christopher's getting married in March. That whole family speaks Spanish. And we have 2 grandkids who speak Spanish. So we're really understanding the Puerto Rican culture. We're understanding that we really think it will be helpful to us and to our relationship with everyone to really know the language.
And it doesn't have to cost a lot of money to explore new cultures. I mean, there are apps like Duolingo where you can learn languages. You can certainly go locally because most cities, towns, areas have different cultural experiences that you can embrace really close by. So what can you do? Plan trips to some new places, both locally and abroad. Try some new foods. I know when we were in California, our son and daughter-in-law went out one day for lunch without us, and they went and had Indian food, I think. And we missed it because you weren't feeling well, and I stayed back with you. But, try new foods, learn about different cultures, and engage in different diverse communities in your area.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea to think about as we go through this list today. If you've always been thinking you want to try a new language or you want to learn more about another culture, you have the time. Here's the thing. You have the time. All of these habits are intended to give you energy, to do something during the day, to enhance and make your life better.
Okay, so the next big bucket that can give you some energy is writing a reflective journal. Now think about that for a second. You just spent however many years in your career, however many years, before you retired. Really spend some time using a tool of self-discovery and emotional processing to write down and journal about your experience. It can help you with your personal growth, your emotional well-being, and really give you energy and a sense of pride on all that you've accomplished.
I think that people, when they hear journaling, when I used to hear about journaling, I thought, well, I'm not a journaler. And I bought journals over the years, and just a blank book where I'd start to write, how do I feel, what am I thinking about, that can be pretty hard. There are some good structured journals out there that give you prompts every day, a new thing to think about, a new idea, so that it's not that much of a burden, but it gets you used to thinking. And I'm also a huge fan in writing. You don't want to type a journal.
Well, that's you.
Science has proven, when you sit and write versus type, When you sit and write, it slows down your brain. It gives you a chance to think about, and you can go back and read your own writing. It has an impact on how you learn and how you feel versus typing. You want to see the research later?
Maybe.
Maybe.
But the first things you can do is to set aside some time for journaling every day. Write about your thoughts and your feelings and your past experience, and use some prompts or themes that might guide you in journaling. I mean, that's really important for you to do in this reflective exercise. I think that does give you a lot of energy.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the 5 most important habits that you can begin right now that will have the quickest change to maximize your energy.
Okay.
So for us, number 1, regular physical exercise. Without a doubt, you need to, you should. If you're not now, you've got to find a way to bring exercise into your life, even if it's just walking 20 minutes a day.
Absolutely. The second thing is your balanced diet. Incorporating more fruits and vegetables and reducing your processed food can rapidly improve your energy levels and overall well-being.
And if you're like me and you grew up with comfort food, this is going to be hard.
Yeah.
This is definitely going to be hard. But for us, eating a huge steak dinner with home fried potatoes and all garlic bread, that's not working for us.
Garlic bread with steak?
Not anymore.
I never had garlic bread with steak.
I always did. Monaro's in Greenwich, Connecticut. For any of you folks in Connecticut, that was the big thing. But that's not a good diet.
Right.
I mean, you can have it once in a while, but not every night.
Okay, the next bucket would be your adequate sleep. We talk about this a lot, but establishing a sleep schedule and creating some comfortable sleep environment that works for you. For us, it's the weighted blanket, the dark room, it's a little bit cold. That really works well.
Exercise, diet,
Sleep.
sleep, stress management.
Right.
This is a winner. I mean, if you're typically stressed most days, you've got to find a way to undo that. Meditation is a way to do it. Deep breathing, whatever it might take, you've really got to find a way to bring this into your life to improve your life.
And the last one is regular hydration. Keeping yourself well hydrated is a simple yet effective way to immediately improve your physical performance and your energy levels. These habits are fundamental and can have a noticeable impact in a short period of time, setting a solid foundation for a more vibrant and energetic life.
Now, I know we gave you a lot to think about today, and we hope you took notes and have thought of at least one change you can make to raise your energy level.
And listen, if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed, that's okay. That means that you know that change is needed. The thing to do is to pick one habit and bring it into your life, like Mark just said. Run with that for a few weeks, even a month, and you might notice a difference.
If you like this video, this next one, A Happy Retirement is in Your Control, is a wonderful video. This entire video is about how to bring new habits into your life. And the most important part of it is the process to bring them in and how to make them stick. So watch this one next.